channel that covers reality TV from a mental health perspective. We are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That means we are 5 days away from the end of this treacherous season. And, I would love to just end now and then just not pay attention to it and read about who wins later, like some people have joked about. Corey's brother Zach from Survivor joked about that a few times on Twitter. But I'm here. When I start something, I finish it. And I started this season, I'm going to finish it. Um, so what this live is about, because I don't really have any more gameplay stuff left to talk about. There's 4 people left. It's quite simple. Morgan is the HOH. She nominated Ava and Ashley, so the only person who's safe right now is Morgan, because she's the HOH winner. And everything from here on out depends on the veto. If either Ashley or Ava win, they would be a fool to not take out Vince or Morgan. I don't know which direction they're leaning. I want to see Vince go out, but I think that neither of them really has the resume to stand up next to Morgan, and I think that it's tough. But honestly, if I were one of them, I might actually want to evict Morgan over Vince. I don't want to see Morgan get evicted, don't get me wrong, but that would be my choice if I was one of them, because I think that she has turned it on in the past 3-4 weeks, and with winning these 2 HOHs, I think she has 2 HOHs now and 3 vetoes. I think she might have won. Did she win a blockbuster too? I don't know, but she has at least about 5 or 6 cops won. And these last moves that she's made, basically controlling Vince's HOH, I think that's not lost on anybody. Getting out Lauren and getting out Kelly, I think that. And then, Keanu was Vince's move. We'll have to see how that played out when I see the episode. I guess that was Vince's move. But I think she has a stronger case, and she's angered less people, I want to say. I know that she would probably have, unless she was sitting next to like Ashley, let's say, she would probably have a vote from, even sitting next to Ashley, I still think that there's a chance that Rachel will give it to Morgan. And then, who else is in the jury? Keanu would give it to Morgan. And who would be the 4th? I guess Ava. Appreciate that. Great clips, Lakewood. But I didn't even really come on to talk about that. I was really looking at some clips from the only remaining storyline in this game, which is Morgan, Vince and Morgan, and people have been asking for weeks, for the last couple of weeks at least. Oh, hi Holly. People have been asking for the last couple of weeks. She said something like, if it will calm you down and help with your stress levels, you can sleep in this HOH bed. The option is open for you to come in here and sleep in this HOH bed. And then she says, but tomorrow I'm inviting the girls. She said, oh, you can come if you want, but I'm inviting the girls to stay in the bed. And I could see the visual disappointment in his face. And I've been listening to them have conversations. When he says, oh, option 1 and option 2, what are the chances of option 1? I might be getting the options mixed up because they don't talk in anything direct. She's like, the percentage is not 0. if I'm talking to somebody that I have feelings for, and I say to them, what are the percentages of chances that you and I can be together? And she says, it's not zero. Even if she didn't want to give a percentage, it's not zero, would not do anything to make me feel like you were that interested. Even if she said something like, it would be a good chance, it would be a high percentage if, basically, if you didn't have a girlfriend. I know she would not say it in those exact words because they are tipped off by production, clearly. But like, whatever, however way she had to say it, it could be a high percentage if you didn't have somebody already. When he says, I saw a video of him saying, "I love you so much," and she said something like, "You also, the feeling is mutual." I know that. I know the feeling of saying, of you saying "I love you" to someone, and then someone responding like, "You also, I feel the same." The feeling is mutual. Those are kind of neutral statements. Anyways, I say all that to say, I don't know whether they give it a try. I don't know whether they don't give it a try, but I don't see that as a likely thing to happen. I don't see them being a couple outside of this house as a likely thing to happen. I tend to feel like, in Morgan's case, her environment is more of the cause of this closeness versus the feelings for the man. Do I think she cares about him? Yes. I'm feeling less and less romantic vibes on her end than I feel on his end. And I think there's probably things about him that she experiences in the house that that are not her ideal things for a man. But at this point, she's like, I'm locked into this game. I want to win this game. And I'm seeing that from her. That's like the overall thing that I'm seeing. I'm seeing now that she super, super wants to win this game. And Vince is much more casual about the game because these end game talks for him do not seem focused on his final speech. They don't seem focused on convincing people to keep him in the game over Morgan. See, these are the things that if you were primarily focused on the game, you talk to Ashley, you talk to Ava, you spend a lot of time talking to them. Like if it was an Xavier, that's what he would do. If Xavier was there, listen, Xavier pretty much did this when it was himself, Big D, Azza, and Kyland. He knew that his only real threat left to winning this game was Kyland. So what he did was he worked on Big D and Azza in the event that even if he probably presumed that he would win that competition when they were in the final four. But then it was like two things. In the event that I lose, I want to make sure that whoever it is that has that choice would vote out Kylan over me, but it's really the same blueprint. If I win and Kylan is on the block and somebody else wins the power veto or whatever, or if it lines up that Kylan is on the block somehow, I want to make sure that both Azza and Big D would choose me to stay and would choose Kylan to go. So I would think that rather than wanting to be in Morgan's HOH bed, if I'm thinking about 750K, I am talking to those two that will potentially impact whether I get a chance to even stay and fight for that 750K. Okay. And I would be talking to them and I would be telling them, like, Morgan's a bigger threat than me. Morgan took out Lauren. Morgan took out Kelly. Morgan has won, let's say, 4 or 5 out of the last 6 competitions. She'll probably win the HOH. The final HOH. She's a super fan. She's had the biggest impact on the game. She's been a part of these impactful alliances. Like, I would just be selling her up and telling everybody that it's more important to get her out than it is to get me out. I'd be fighting for my effing life because she's safe right now. She's going to be in the final competition, and he doesn't know whether he'll be there or not. Now, would I put my money on Morgan or Vince winning that power veto over Ava and Ashley? Yes, but anything is possible. That's the thing about these comps. Anything in the world is possible. So everything that I hear Morgan talking about is game, and everything that I'm talking about is, oh, are you still gonna talk to me when this is all over? Are you gonna forget? I love you so much. I'm so glad I met you, your best friend here. I would definitely pick you if I had a choice for the two. Blah blah blah. I think that's where his mind is at now. Like, his mind is more like, cool, I would love to win the final HOH. However, Morgan is more important to me than that. And this is why I said yesterday, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Now, I don't know anything about his relationship with Kelsey. So maybe in this case, maybe what some people have said is correct. Maybe he was trying to break up with Kelsey already, and he met Morgan during a time where he was already trying to leave Kelsey, and it was just convenient timing that somebody popped up for him during a time when he was trying to exit. But I don't know. I don't know whether that's the case or not. He shouts her out every week. He says, I love you every week. I can't wait to see you every week. He talks about what him and Kelsey are going to do after. I mean, that could be a facade because he could be thinking about his public perception, which, bro, if y'all have been paying attention to his actions with Morgan earlier, and then all of a sudden there was this big shift answering questions. They kept answering questions about the relationship. All of a sudden, there's a pillow barrier in between them in the bed, and all of a sudden they're talking about Kelsey, and all of a sudden Morgan's like, I can't wait to meet Kelsey. I think that just for so many reasons. I think that Vince is ready and willing to risk it all, and I think that Morgan, when she gets out of the house, um, I just don't even see that being a thing at all. And I don't think that it is friends who've been watching all this play out on TV. I think that they're not necessarily going to encourage this to continue. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's just my personal thoughts and feelings about it. Oh, there's an accident that was slowing down the traffic. That's what it was. Yeah, those are my thoughts. Now, in terms of who do I think should win, I think that Morgan is the most deserving winner of the remainders, and I think that the only two deserving winners, in my humble opinion, out of the people that are left, are simply Vince and Morgan. Don't get me wrong, I would hate if Vince won. but I would definitely feel worse about Ava or Ashley winning than I would about Vince winning. Because I think that Vince has also had a bigger impact on the game than either of them. So that's just the way that I'm viewing that. But if I'm one of those ladies, I'm going hard for this veto. And then I'm thinking hard about which one between Vince or, well, you can't pick. Actually, yeah, I don't even know why I said that. Picking between Vince or Morgan. It's an obvious. It's an only. You only have the choice to take out Vince, and then your option to take out Morgan solely depends on whether or not you win the final HOH, which I would put my money on Morgan for that, because Morgan is athletic, Morgan is strong, she's super smart, she knows so much about the show, she seems to have a really solid memory, she's a gamer, like, I see no reason why Morgan would not win. She could win part one, the endurance part of it. I think she would definitely win. If she didn't win part one, I think she would definitely win part two. And I would put my money on her to win part three also. So, like I said, if she's there, if she's in a final two seed, it's over. That's just how I feel about that. There's no beating her if she's in a final two chair. So, like I said, your best bet and your only bet is to either beat her in the final HOH. Well, that's it. That's simply it. Beat her in the final HOH and choose not to take her. That's your only. That's your only way of winning, because so little gameplay on the season, so little strategy. All the people that could have beaten her are not there. I think before, this was actually Rachel's season to lose, and they lucked out. They lucked out with this whole elimination thing with her. It was a stroke of luck, and the players have all benefited from that, and that's where we are. So I think that we have an episode tonight, and if we do, I will be there. Bells and whistles, Honestly, it's gotten me to the point this season where the produced episodes now are more interesting than the live feeds, but that's only because they cut so much. They cut so much out of the live feeds that you're just watching the produced episodes to see what context we can possibly put together to make sense out of things. Like, they made this big hype up for that episode that showed the Rachel elimination, and then when the episode actually aired, I was like, this is terrible. This is terrible and anticlimactic. What is this? I think a couple of the episode edits ate, if I remember, if my memory serves me correctly, which sometimes it doesn't. I think a couple of the episode edits ate, but I think a lot of them did not. One second. Ooh, this is terrible. Has this ever happened to you? This is terrible. I have my headphones with me. I have my headphone case with me, and I thought I had my headphones with me, but I don't. So I have to go into work and listen to the sights and sounds of the job. And yeah. terrible. It's so terrible. That's the worst. That's the worst. That's the worst thing to have to hear. I'll live though. I'll live. Today is one of those days. Today is one of those days. Just one of them days. Okay. Okay. And off we go. Alright, y'all. I'm at my destination. Thanks for joining me this morning. Please do me a favor. We only have a few days left in the season. I know the engagement goes down. I don't know. I never know what I'm gonna do in the off season. I mean, yes, we do have Amazing Race and Survivor, but I respect and admire those people who are able to cover like 2-3 shows at the same time, but I've realized that I'm no longer one of them. That's very hard, so I'm going to try to cover Amazing Race as a first-time viewer, see how that goes in terms of numbers and engagement and stuff, and if it goes well, that could be my main squeeze for the next few months, and if it doesn't, I'll just watch like the rest of y'all and come on here on occasion. Some people park the channels and they only dedicate 3 months, the Big Brother 3 months to the show, and I understand. I understand why that happens. But anyways, the favor is just simply like, comment, subscribe. If you are so moved for a membership, hit one up. It's $2.99. What else? Yeah, that's it. And I'll be on here later. Talk to you soon.